Hello and welcome to the OK Football Podcast. This is episode 11 of Series 3. I'm a very flued up Carl Dixon, joined in the studio by the two Matts, Matt Tye.
Hello.
And Matt Thowney.
Hello there.
Matt Thowney today had a very important meeting and interview with a footballing great. We're told pictures are up there on his Facebook and whatnot, but you interviewed Alan Shearer today.
Yes, it was extremely interesting, and I still can't believe I actually done it, so put it that way. Yeah.
Did you interview him about football though? No.
Well, I spoke to him a little bit about football, so it was PR for a new gym down in Southampton, but pleased I got it, so yeah.
It's all good. We've got MLS fixtures to go through. We're going to be looking forward to all the week's games because there's Champions League, Europa League, and then the weekend's fixtures too. There's a lot of pressure on Steve McLaren at the moment, Newcastle manager, so I think that's where we'll start. They lost again the weekend, Newcastle. Does he deserve to be sacked at this point?
Well, it's interesting because BBC were doing a poll earlier today on like the worst ever Premier League managers.
I think that's harsh.
It's very harsh in consideration that he's not had a full season yet. And some of the names up there as well are quite funny. It's like Terry Connor of Wolves with a win percentage of 0.
He had like 3 games
I know.
at the end of the season when they were already relegated, basically.
Yeah.
One day Ramos was in there as well. I'm like, the guy literally had like 4 games at the start of the season and then he was sacked.
No, he had the 2007-8 season because he won the League Cup.
I know he did, yeah.
Yeah.
But Shearer was in there as well.
But what we've got to remember here is that Steve McLaren isn't just a manager; he's part of the board.
Yeah, direct.
Which, in my opinion, after some people brought it up, actually, is just stupid.
Yeah.
Why would you have your manager as part of the board as well? It's like he can sit there and go, "Oh, I'm fine. No one's going to sack me. It's my choice."
This is why McLaren did it. He's put himself in a safe position. So when they all get together and go, we need to make a decision. We're going to have a meeting about the manager. Do we sack him? Who votes yes? All the hands go up. All right, we need a unanimous decision, guys. Who votes no? Me. He's not going to get sacked then, is he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can understand why he's getting all this sort of like scrutiny under his job because he has. There was a stat. Newcastle have spent 144 days in the relegation zone this season, which is more than they've ever done in a Premier League season before. And the amount of money they have spent, they should be top half team.
Well, especially with players like Ronaldo in the team.
When you look at the transfers that he's made, to be fair, the likes of Wijnaldum, Andros Townsend, John Joe Shelvey, even Mitrovic.
I don't think you can put John Joe Shelvey and Andros Townsend in the mix because they haven't been there too long. But
no.
But the amount of money,
but the money
they went for.
But like these players are good players. It's not like he's made bad signings. When you look at some of the managers that have had a bad season, you go, "Oh, he's made really bad signings there." He hasn't actually made that bad signings. It's just it seems like the talent of the players that have come in, the likes of Wijnaldum and Mitrovic at the start of the season, they've got worse as the season's gone on.
Well,
do you know what I mean? It's like the bad talent that's already in the Newcastle squad, the poor quality of the squad has rubbed off on the good players, it seems.
I mean, the worrying thing for me is at the beginning of the season when, Tim Sherwood was sacked, there was all this talk saying they're not going to stay out because they haven't got these players in the side that one will stand out and keep them up. And to be fair, can you say the same about Newcastle at the moment? There isn't anyone in that side that is playing out their skin week in, week out that could keep them up.
There's no confidence in the Newcastle squad more than anything.
Yeah.
The Newcastle Fans Forum have, within the last hour, sent a strongly worded letter to the Newcastle board saying we need change, citing the fact that there seems to be no work ethic, there seems to be a lack of confidence in the team, like we said, and they've also picked out a key number of stats, which is Newcastle have only won 6 games this season, which is their joint worst after 28 games, which is matched by their relegation season of 08-09. They have the second worst goal difference, which with Aston Villa being the worst. The team's only just scored 28 goals, which is the worst figure in recent Premier League history at this stage of a season. They've kept only 1 clean sheet since the start of December, and they have the 3rd worst disciplinary record in the Premier League.
You're going to, though, at that
When you're down there, it's like everything's going against
you. You lose your temper, don't you?
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah.
because it just seems to be it's all going wrong. Because they mentioned that it's time for action. It's either McLaren should be sacked or a massive rescue operation needs to happen. That's what the fans are saying.
If you sack Steve McLaren, in my opinion, then you're going to end up with a manager or a caretaker manager that hasn't got enough time to keep him up.
They reckon David Moyes is the favourite to take over
But
if he
why?
gets sacked.
Yeah, but why would he come in now when he's got no time to do anything?
Thing is, what they might do is sack him, have the caretaker manager till the end of the season. If they stays up, that's
Yeah,
great.
that's-
If they don't, then whatever.
But
Then they can bring
if
in
they
the like
don't-
Brendan Rodgers.
If they don't stay up, the likes of Rodgers and Moyes won't want to go to Newcastle.
Exactly.
They'll get someone like
If
Nigel
they do
Pearson.
stay up, Moyes will take that job, I think. It would be
Yeah.
perfect for him. But if they don't stay up, they're better managers than the Championship.
Yeah. But should we maybe come away from Newcastle here and credit what Bournemouth done? They come away from home
Yeah.
and got a great win to potentially the biggest win of the season to keep them in the
They're
Premier
safe
League now.
They're safe.
Yeah, I would say they are now, yeah. 35 points is a good figure now.
9 games to go. Sunderland and Newcastle and Norwich are in a lot worse position. Villa are out of it already, so that doesn't matter.
It's who's going to be 19th and 18th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say as well, I know we wanted to get off Newcastle, I just wanted to make a point of, I actually think the fans are very, very poor at Newcastle.
Oh, they always have been.
But in the terms of, I would put, not all of the blame, of course, but some of the blame on the fans this time. Because at the start of the season, Newcastle didn't start the season that well, but they showed little glimpses of that there's quality there, they just weren't gelling. And the crowd turned on them. Straight away, the crowd turned on them.
Thing is, you say that. I would say the like even when Alan Pardew was there, the amount of times that they were, if they lost back to back times, then they would all turn on them.
Yeah.
And how are you supposed to better yourself as a club when every single time you lose 2 games on the bounce, everyone turns on you? When Chelsea lost 2 games on the bounce this season, no one turned on them. The only time they did happen was when suddenly it turned into a crisis. That's when it started.
To a point of extent, you got to feel a bit for the Newcastle fans, for the size of the club, for the name that it is, and it's like one of the biggest stadiums in the north. They haven't. They used to be a force. They used to be 10, 20 years ago. They were challenging for Europe or the Premier League. They haven't won anything now in nearly 60 years.
Well, it's like in their head, it seems like they still live in the 90s when they were a good side.
They still think they've got Keegan in charge.
I think the Newcastle fans need a reality check more than anything.
Yeah, they do.
Because
they're not a title challenging team anymore.
I've
They're
said this
mid-table at best.
I've said this as a Villa fan all season for a few years now. There's a difference between a big club and a big club and a big team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Villa are a big club because of the stadium and the history, but we're a terrible team at the moment.
Yeah.
We deserve
and it's
to
the
go
same
down.
with
Newcastle are a big club. That if you're going on about the size of the club and the stadium and the history, they're in the top 6. They've probably got a bigger history than the likes of definitely City, Chelsea maybe in terms of history.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'd agree with that.
Traditions of the club and all that. But the Newcastle team's terrible at the moment.
Yeah.
There's no way they can expect, as you say, they go 2 losses back to back, and then all of a sudden they've turned on them. What are they expecting?
Because the Newcastle fans got Pardew sacked. Well, Pardew didn't get sacked. He walked away because he said my position.
You couldn't have enough.
His position was unattainable. They had start-up sites. They had protests. He walked away, went to Crystal Palace, and did an amazing job there for the last season. Then they got John Carver in and stayed up by the skin of their teeth. This season, they thought they turned the corner. Let's get Stephen McLaren. He's got a long-term project. Let's give him the backing. Like you said, 2 games after 2 straight defeats, they want him out.
Of course, Mark Ashley and the board have to take majority of the blame.
Yeah,
of
say
course.
That. But they've put the money in
it's
this
not
time.
just them.
They've
Do you know what I mean? They have put the money in, yeah.
So it's no.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of different excuses.
I think this season's the most players they've signed if you combine the last 4 seasons together.
But as you say, good credit to Bournemouth. I think they're safe now.
Yeah.
What do you guys make of the rumours? We wasn't planning to talk about this, actually. It's just come to my head. What do you guys make of the rumours that Charlie Daniels, the Bournemouth left-back, is expected to be in the England squad for the 2 friendlies this month?
I would say he deserves it. He's played well. But would I take him to Euro 2016? Because that's basically what you're saying when you put him in friendlies.
Well, giving him his chance to make an impact, hasn't he?
I appreciate that he's getting his chance with the March friendlies, but I do feel that this is the time not really to be experimenting more than let's get our team nailed down, because we've got 3 tough friendlies in May and June before we go away to the Euros. We need to have that definitive team.
A bit of stability.
And
on the side
we've got
before we
tough
start.
friendlies this month as well.
Because
Is it Holland and Germany?
Holland and Germany,
Yeah.
and then in May and June we've got
Portugal,
Australia, and was it France?
No, it wasn't France. It's Portugal, Australia, and
It's on our page. I'll put it up there earlier.
Well, I mean,
But
end of the day,
but those friendlies, 2 of them are the Australia one and the one we can't think of are also the first friendlies to be played outside of Wembley Stadium since it reopened in 2007.
well, what we've got to remember as well is that Charlie Daniels has been good in the other half of the pitch. He hasn't actually been that good in his half of the pitch.
Defensively,
because
no.
Marta Boric hasn't kept that many clean sheets, and that's all down to him. That's the defence. So he's not played that well.
If Daniels does get his chance, who does Roy Hodgson drop then? Is it Bertrand, who I think has been incredible this season?
He's a left back, isn't he?
Yeah. Is it
There's a lot of left backs that could be in the shout there.
Is it Bertrand who's dropped? Is it Baines, who's since he's come back from injury has been quite fantastic?
You've also got Luke Shaw coming back.
Well, Luke Shaw won't make the Euros. He's expected to be
Hodgson said if he's fit, Shaw will probably go.
I wouldn't.
But I think at the end of the day,
it's a nice bit of reassurance for Luke Shaw that the door is still open for him. But with his expected return mid-April, I don't think that's enough time for him.
But at the end, what we've got to remember is that this is a friendly. If the likelihood is he's not going to the Euros, Charlie Daniels, because if he does, then he's got to drop a experienced or a left back that's had a good season overall. And I can think of a few that have had a good season overall. So, yeah. Anyway.
But if he gets an England call-up, then fair play to him. Along with the likes of Danny Drinkwater and a few other people whose names have recently been mentioned. Yeah. If they put in the effort, and I'm glad that this England team's now being picked on form rather than names.
Yeah, very good. We will be speaking about the likelihood of a title race ending if Leicester, Tottenham and Arsenal get the same results as they did earlier in the season against the teams they're playing, which is really confusing to say in a little while, but we'll stick down the bottom for now. Let's talk about Newcastle's arch rivals, Sunderland. Sam Allardyce has come out and said that they must accept that they're among the favourites for relegation after their draw at Southampton. I actually think, although Southampton got a 93rd minute equaliser, that's not a bad point for Sunderland.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad point because you're going to one of the hardest grounds in the Premier League.
They're picking up results as well, Sunderland. I mean, that's 3-4 games unbeaten?
They had a last-minute draw at Palace. With that Fabio Borini, was it a shot, was it not? They had this.
I'm pretty sure they won the game before.
And they won the game before, yeah.
But what we've got to establish here is that draws aren't going to keep them up.
No, that's true.
End of the day, they need to be holding on to these games or turning them around. They're the teams that stay up, and if they're not careful and keep getting these draws, then the likes of Norwich or even Newcastle will pull them into that relegation zone and say, see you later, where are you leaving?
This is the interesting thing. The next league game for Sunderland is the Tyne-Wear derby.
Yeah, this weekend.
Well, I think
next weekend.
I genuinely think whoever wins that game will go on and stay up.
Sunderland have some tough fixtures going into the final 9 games of the season or whatever it is. I mean, they've still got to play Everton, they've still got to play Leicester, still got to play Arsenal, Stoke away, Watford away, and Chelsea at home. Those are all tough games, you'd say.
Yeah.
Their probably easiest game is probably away to Norwich.
Away to Norwich, away to Newcastle, and at home to West Brom. You could probably see them picking up results. West Brom, to be fair, they proved this weekend they're not easy to roll over, but that's the games they'll be targeting to get results. I can see why Sam Allardyce is saying it, but he is experienced at keeping sides up.
Yeah,
Sam Allardyce is the man.
It's the classic saying, you would want him as your manager if you were trying to stay up. So
definitely.
But what about Southampton? What we thinking after this weekend's result?
See, I think the weekend result, as much as it was a good performance by Sunderland, it also shows good resilience from Southampton, because in 93rd minute equaliser, it shows they didn't give up until the end. And with the fact they had 10 men as well, shows great sort of spirit and backbone. And to quote Brendan Rodgers, showed great character.
I can see Ronald Koeman making wholesale changes over the summer.
I think he needs to, because
it needs freshening up.
Well, yeah, like, I don't know what it is, even though they had these players go in the summer.
They've had 2 great seasons, but this season, for me,
something just
it
seems
hasn't
a bit
been
stale.
a good
It seems a
season
bit
for
stale,
Southampton.
doesn't it?
It's almost like teams know how to play against them now.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened last season. Koeman, everyone was playing the 4-5-1, but Koeman brought in sort of the wing backs, and everyone was like, "This is a bit different." Now teams have adapted to it, and going back to the more traditional 4-4-2, it's harder for them to break them down.
I would say the key players for Southampton haven't played well as well. Graziano Pella's had a poor season.
But the biggest one, Dusan Tadic.
Tadic
He's been
Tadic has
awful.
had-
Mane
awful
is probably the
season.
only one who's
Actually, I would
Tried-
He had a
Ooh,
good
man.
start to the
he had
season.
a
Yeah.
good start,
But then
which
he's dropped off
He's dropped off
again.
because when Chelsea played them, both Tadic and Mane were on the bench. But that, I think they're more catered for the fact they were going pretty much like 8 at the back and have just play long balls to Shane Long and Charlie Austin.
Mane seemed to take his good end to the season last season into the start of the season. But once we got to Christmas, he looked tired.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but Southampton, they, at the moment, and I'm hearing it from a lot of fans, they're getting quite bored of the way Saints are playing football at the moment. But are they bored of the way Saints are playing football at the moment, or are they bored of teams sussing them
knowing how
out?
to defend
Yeah,
against
and
them.
then defend against them, which neutralising the way they play.
Because Southampton play this pressing game and then they pass the ball, but they're stuck now because teams are just sitting back against them. So they're going,
They're doing the old Man United thing of passing it around
left,
the
right,
pitch.
and centre.
Yeah,
that's all they can do. They can't pass forward because players opposite teams are going. Sunderland on the weekend, a lot of the times they went, all right, you know what, we're going to sit 10 men behind the ball. Jermaine Defoe, or 9 men. Jermaine Defoe, stay up there. We'll sit 9 men behind the ball, break us down. Southampton haven't got the players to do it now.
No.
Well, they have, but the players aren't doing
confidence. The confidence ain't there in them. So yeah.
There's also we've also got, if we're also going to talk about some fixtures, we also got to talk about the Wednesday fixtures that were happening when we were last meant to do our podcast. We saw West Ham pick up a really good win against Tottenham, which Tottenham had 2 dodgy-ish results now, the loss against West Ham and then the North London derby draw against Arsenal. So people are saying, is that the title race looking more in Leicester's way after they had their draw against West Brom?
I think that Spurs are still in it. The title race is still on because
it's still on, but
it's in Leicester's hands now.
Now in Leicester's hands.
you just cannot see how Leicester are going to mess this up now. Like the way they're playing, and it's
Touch wood.
it's the way they're playing. It's hard to describe, but every time they go out on the pitch, that 90 minutes, they are running at you. It's literally like a bulldozer just continuously hitting you. Like,
I've got a couple of stats up. If you go on the form guide of the Premier League since the turn of the year, the top 4 is Leicester on 21 points, Tottenham on 20, Chelsea on 20, and West Ham on 20.
It's no coincidence that Leicester, Tottenham and West Ham are in that top 4.
And then something BBC have put up is like why Leicester City have already won the league is because they got up the table of the last 38 games, because 38 games ago Leicester was still bottom and just ended a 4-game losing run. Leicester in the last 38 games have picked up 82 points.
Ridiculous.
Really
ridiculous.
Man City are second with 71, then Arsenal on 70, Spurs on 69, Man U on 61, and then Chelsea, who won the league, on 60.
I mean, what is it? I love what
but going back to what we're saying about Newcastle and Sunderland, in the last 38 games, Sunderland have accumulated 37 points, Newcastle 28, and then Villa again on 26.
Well, it's like
that's less than a point a game.
I love what this person said about like teams that should win the title. Like everyone's saying, oh yeah, well City should have won the title this year. Well yeah, and then they're saying, oh yeah, they should still win the title. Okay, but then when you ask people, do you want them to win the title? Everyone's going to say no because for one, they don't deserve it, and Leicester are up there.
I would be happy if Tottenham win the title as well because it's a bit different.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, you guys wouldn't. I wanted to
I still think my ideal scenario is someone like Arsenal City to finish 4th.
City to finish 4th.
That way, if Man U or Liverpool win the Europa League, and they finish outside the Champions League spots, they get the Champions League berth. And then Chelsea win the Champions League, which means they get the Champions League berth, which means we have 6 teams, which I don't think we'll be allowed to through UEFA, which means our 4th place team gets kicked into the Europa League. That'll be Arsenal, which is their God-given right to win the league this season, or City with Pep Guardiola, whose sole job is to win the Champions League. So take a pick.
Yeah. I did want to say as well, this weekend Leicester's 1-0 win at Vicarage Road, I would probably say was their hardest game of the season.
The biggest win of the season.
But the way they didn't play well on Saturday, Leicester. They didn't.
No.
But they ground out the result.
quote-
Mahrez had one bit of quality in the game, and they won the game.
To quote the age I was saying, those types of games are the ones that win you the league.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, for me, that's the game that proves Riyad Mahrez, if he doesn't win the Player of the Year, then I don't know what's going on, but he deserves it. He's the only player that can win it.
And if you read the gossip columns, Barcelona are weighing up a £20 million bid for him. Not bad for a player they signed for, 400k?
Yeah,
all
exactly.
all to come. What about the game of the weekend then? Everton-West Ham's got to be the game of the weekend. What a comeback that was. I watched this game this morning in the end.
I've got some arguments for the game of the weekend in the MLS, but you know.
Well, yes, the MLS. We were speaking about the MLS from last night, but
How can a team with 12 minutes to go, and they were quite comfortable, West Ham weren't really doing too much in the game.
they were down to 10 men, but
Yeah, but all of a sudden, it just seemed like everyone just absolutely threw everything at Everton, and suddenly...
They threw the kitchen sink.
Yeah, they've literally
they did, but
done everything they could.
I
and it
tell you,
worked.
Phil Jagielka had an absolutely shocking game. If you look at...
In that last 12 minutes, he had a shocking game.
Well, all game, to be fair, but in those last 12 minutes in particular, if you look at the goals, the first and second goals in particular, it's just a simple cross. Jagielka either loses the man or loses the header. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's Everton's best centre-back, you'd say, Jagielka. John Stones has a lot of potential, but he's not quite the finished package yet. Martinez would accept him more, but I think he'll have to take some of the blame because they're 2-0 up, down to 10 men. They know they've got to grind out the result now. He takes off, I believe it was James McCarthy, and brings on a attacking sort of midfielder, centre midfielder, instead of Gareth Barry.
Thing is, Roberto Martinez has always been attack-minded. He always has been. When you look at when he was at Wigan as well, he was just exactly the same.
He was. But I would say if he brought on Gareth Barry at that point, and it was literally a minute before the goal, Everton win the game 2-0.
True, but I think one thing we've got to I was saying about Riyad Mahrez being player of the season. If he doesn't win it, then for me it's got to be Dimitri Payet. It's got to be.
Jamie Vardy's got to be up there as well as a shout.
The only reason why I wouldn't say Jamie Vardy is because he's purely goals. Dimitri Payet and Riyad Mahrez help out the whole team and also score goals.
It makes you wonder where West Ham would be if Mahrez didn't have that injury, where he'd missed about a month and a half or 2 months or whatever it was. During the winter he missed about a month, didn't he? He got injured in the game against Everton and he missed 3 weeks to a month, I'd say, actually. If he didn't, and this was December, I believe, so he missed a lot of fixtures. If he didn't get injured that month, it makes you think where West Ham would actually be.
I think they would still be where they are now, I'll be honest.
I think they might even snuck into fourth.
I think they could still sneak in the fourth.
They can, but I think they would be there now.
It was
the way they were playing.
During this month of or wherever it was that Payet was injured, that West Ham hit this bad run of form that they sort of hit in the middle of the season. Makes you wonder. On the note of players of the season, you bring up Mahrez, definitely he's in there with a shout. I'd say Vardy too. Yes, Dimitri Payet. Mesut Ozil's got to be up there as well, I think.
If you base it on the first half of the season.
Well, yes, but he's had a solid second half. So he hasn't been impressive.
Solid, but
it's enough to get him in with a shout, I think.
Okay, yeah.
And then, who's your fifth?
Danny Ali. Because he has gone from the Championship to becoming one of the biggest prospects in European football in the season.
Possibly Dele Alli. I think in terms of the actual sort of awarding, I think Harry Kane's probably got a better chance of getting it just because of the amount of goals he scored.
And the crucial goals as well.
Crucial goals, yeah. But yeah, that's a conversation for a different time, different podcast, I suppose. Let's talk about one more fixture though. I wanted to actually speak about this whole Benteke dive thing.
Okay.
Palace and Liverpool yesterday. Did you guys see it?
No.
Yeah, it's...
I know Pardew in particular wasn't happy.
Is he ever happy?
And there's
I can't blame him not being happy. They haven't won a game in this year.
There's a lot of debate over it. There's a few people in the camp of Benteke took a dive, which wasn't a penalty. There's a lot of the other people going, there's a bit of contact, it's a penalty. I'm sort of in the camp of it's a penalty because if you look at it, Delaney's knee catches the back of Benteke's foot, and yes, it's not enough for Benteke to go bowling over sort of forcefully, no. But if there's contact, the striker has the right to go down and win the penalty.
Do you think, and this is a view I've had for a while about penalties being shown again on TV to fans, etc. Do you think slowing it down actually influences the way we think if it's a penalty or not? Because that knee, if it's at that speed, it shouldn't be going down. But then when you actually speed it up, a knee hitting you there can easily just send you over.
Well, it wasn't. I don't think it was that Benteke was sent over by the contact. I think he did throw himself to the ground as such, but it's not a dive because there's contact. There's a difference between diving and winning a penalty. A striker has the right to go down if there's contact. If you're going, if you're playing and you're in the box and you feel a defender go two hands to your back and push you, it's not enough to send you falling to the floor, but you go down and you claim the penalty because it's still a foul.
And it's a chance for you to score as well.
It's a chance for you to score. It's to me, Benteke's done absolutely nothing wrong. Everyone's got on his back and saying he's dived. Not at all.
Put it this way: if Conor Wickham's down the other end of the pitch, and he does the same, then Liverpool fans would be saying it, and Crystal Palace.
There's times.
No, it's a penalty.
There's times where stuff like this happens where you see, I don't know, say Firmino, the Liverpool player, go over a challenge. There's a bit of contact, but he stays on his feet because he thinks there's a chance and the ball sort of works out for a goal kick. That you look at the replay and you go, why didn't you go down?
Exactly.
If you go down, you get a penalty.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? That's not bringing the game into disrepute. That's not cheating. That is football.
Taking advantage of...
That's football, though. Yeah. If it's like if a long ball goes over the top, striker's racing onto it after the defender missed the ball. Does the defender stop and go, I'm sorry, you made a mistake, I'm not going to take advantage of that? Do you know what I mean?
No.
I don't understand why people are saying it's a dive.
Because, well, FIFA over the weekend, I don't know if any of you guys saw it, but since Infantano's come in, they said we will actually consider trialling video
and
replays.
The English FA have said that the friendlies, not necessarily this month, but the June and July ones, they're open to the video technology being used in those friendlies.
I disagree with it, and I always will do. The reason why is because you might as well get rid of your referee. And personally, because for years since football started, we've always had a referee on the pitch that makes all the decisions. If you bring technology in, I guarantee you, people will still go, "That's a bit harsh." Then there's this, there's that. You taking all the power away.
I think there's ways to do it. I think you could probably... I'd take the tennis route of it. I wouldn't take the rugby route because the rugby route is where the referee chooses whether we have a look. Do you know what I mean? It's not like they challenge it, the players. In tennis, the player goes, well, I think you were wrong there, ref. Can we have a look? And uses his challenge. He only gets like one or two or whatever.
And your captain has that.
Your captain's the only one.
Captain and manager, they can decide.
Yeah, captain.
Because that's what they do in cricket. The captain is the captain deliberates with the person who had it, and they're the only one who thinks, I think we've got a claim here. We go review.
Yeah.
That's how I do it. Say this on Sunday with Benteke. Say he goes down, the referee goes, no penalty, and Liverpool think they've got a penalty.
Hendo does the review.
They do the review, the game. He stops the game, like someone's been injured, and if it comes back and he goes, no penalty, then they
goal
just
kick.
Give them the ball back or drop ball or something like that. Something where, I don't know, the referee usually stops the game.
I agree with that.
It's not hard, do you know what I mean?
I agree with that, but then, like I say, I still disagree with technology having that much influence in football.
I think once you brought in goal line technology...
That's the line for me. That is the line.
Maybe, but then you'd argue with your point of there's no point having a referee. If you're going to use goal line technology, the same sort of point applies to a lesser extent. Do you know what I mean? Because you're saying I don't want this video technology because the referees should be allowed to make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's still a mistake if they don't catch the goal crossing the line. So we're using goal line technology.
True,
there.
but
Do you know
then
what I mean?
there's a massive difference between a penalty being given and a goal being given. If a goal is given, that complete changes the game. If a penalty is given, there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee scoring.
No.
He can still miss.
No.
So you see what I'm saying there?
No, I do understand, and half of me agrees with you that we shouldn't use it all, but I think if we do use it, that's the best way to do it. I would not have it so that the referee can decide, because then you're stuck in a position where the referee goes, I'm not convinced either way, let's have a look. Do you know what I mean? Every time. It's going to ruin the game, that would, for me.
I think, yeah.
I'm happy for the referee to make a couple of decisions that are bad, because that's the game.
Yeah.
We'll move on from the fixtures and the goal line technology talk, which we wasn't planning to talk about. We just get sidetracked.
We just go off on one.
Yeah. We're going to speak about Bolton Wanderers, actually. They've had... So I need to... It's sort of... going on for a while and it's yet to go through. I have a feeling it will go through, or else they wouldn't have adjourned it. Do you know what I mean? But
they're close to completing a £7.5 million purchase of the club, who are currently in £172.9 million worth in debt, which is due on the 21st of March.
see, this annoys me with the whole price of football clubs, right? So Bolton are worth 7.5 million, yeah. But players like Mahrez, for example, are worth 20 million.
Yeah, that is...
There seems to be a problem. Because, all right,
it's not just be more
Bolton,
than a player.
It's not just Bolton. Leicester themselves now are probably worth, I don't know, maybe 25 million?
Yeah, pushing 30, yeah.
Pushing 30. Yeah. You sell Mahrez and Vardy, well, you buy Leicester, you've got two players that are worth more than the club put together.
Yeah.
There seems to be a problem there to me. Arsene Wenger's been in the news again, as per usual. He's claiming the title race isn't over for them. Is it? Yeah, I think.
Is it over?
I think if they'd lost the game Saturday, it is.
It's over if they drop 3 more points this season. So they can't lose. If they lose any game, they're out of the title race.
And they've got they haven't got easy games. I'm
I know,
sure.
but if Arsene Wenger genuinely believes they're still in the title race, they can't lose a game, because not only do you need Leicester to mess up like 3 times, you also need Spurs to mess up at least once again. Well, twice. Sorry.
I think Arsenal needed to hold on to that result. Francis Coquelin the weekend. I mean, Arsene Wenger would have ripped into him, because Arsenal were on their way to a comfortable 3 points.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Tottenham hadn't turned up until Coquelin got sent off.
I do forget what he got 2 yellows, didn't he?
He'd already got booked earlier in the half, and he knowing he's on a yellow card, he just lunges into a tackle. It's a dreadful tackle, and like what he's doing, he's trying to stop an attack. But I'm thinking to myself, you've got 4 players behind you. There's no need to do that.
I do see what you're saying there, but he is a holding midfielder and his responsibility is to slow down play for the opposition. So what he might have done is, and it's easy to forget, but when you're a professional footballer, you shouldn't forget, I need to stop him. And he's gone in like that and then thought, oh, shoot, because you could see on his face straight away, oh, I actually got a yellow. So
definitely,
yeah.
But at the end of the day, as you say, he's a professional footballer playing for Arsenal in their biggest game of the season.
Yeah.
They were cruising to a victory. They were. Arsenal played well. Tottenham wasn't really turning possession into attack. And then it's silly, it's stupid, and it's cost them. It's cost Arsenal the title race for me. If they win that game, they go ahead of Arsenal. They go ahead of Tottenham as favourites. Yeah. Leicester is still favourites, but like Arsenal will be second favourites to me. So I don't know.
Going back to our previous story, Leicester were bought by their current owners for 39 million.
39 million.
Back in 2010.
But even that 39 million, you sell 4 or 5 of Leicester's best players now, you get 45, 50 million.
You got to think back then Leicester were mid-table in League One.
But like going back to
And still in history.
If Arsenal's still in this title race, then Manchester City are. And that's exactly what I mean. I've already said Man City will not win the title, hands down. So in my opinion, it's the same with Arsenal. Like I say, if they drop 3 more points.
I think this weekend's results did it for me in terms of my City. I said at the start of the season I think City was going to win, and as much to last week I said I still think City can come back and win this. City are out of it for me now. Because going into this weekend's fixtures, I could see Tottenham and Arsenal ended as a draw as it did, but I could see Watford beating Leicester for some reason. Yeah. I could just see it coming. If that happened, City are still in the title race considering their result against Villa.
Yeah.
But now that Leicester have won, I think it's too much.
I don't think Man City were helped with their 3-0 loss to Liverpool.
No, definitely not.
I think when they lost out, they were out.
Probably. They probably were looking back on it, but I had a feeling Leicester would lose, but they didn't.
Thing is, I said that they would draw that game, and they've actually gone to Watford and actually ended up getting 3 points, which is phenomenal. So, Arsenal are out of it in my opinion, but if they do come back into it wouldn't surprise me too much.
It's so nice to see. Even if Arsenal do though, 3 title challengers who haven't won the title in including Arsenal, at least 10 years, 15 years, whatever it is. That's really refreshing. Yeah. Although it does sort of remind me of the German and French leagues a few years ago when they were sort of in flux, when you saw Montpellier win the French league after going up, and you saw Wolfsburg win the German league.
Lille won the French league.
And you're like...
But every league goes through that transition.
It shows that the Premier League lost its power, and it's now recovering. It's now probably 3rd best league in the world.
Behind
La Liga and Bundesliga, I'd say.
I would never say the Bundesliga is better than our league. Never. Definitely. But we're not getting into that debate because I think we'll go into that for a while.
In fairness, this season the Bundesliga is probably the closest it's been for a while because Dortmund are actually second by 4
in the
points.
FIFA coefficients in terms of like Champions League places for different countries and whatnot, Germany and Spain are above England. Germany.
That's because they only get like 3 places, and 2 of those teams at least make a semi-final.
No, but now they're going to get 4. That's what they're saying. Yeah. There's a FA Cup game on Tuesday. I believe there's a few actually, but
no, this is the only replay.
Is there only one?
Only replay.
It's a replay. Yeah, FA Cup 5th round replay. Hull City versus Arsenal. This is going back to the Arsenal title race, I suppose. But could Arsenal afford to lose that game? I think they can. If they're going to go on to win the title, I don't think they can fight on
2 fronts.
2 fronts.
Well, 3 if they hold on against
Barca.
They're
not. They're out against. He might as well play the kids against Barca.
I think he will.
If he's serious about the title race and the FA Cup, he will. But can they afford... They've won the FA Cup last 2 seasons, and winning it would be great, but it's not like it's we haven't won a trophy in so long. Do you know what I mean? This is the season they should be focused on the Premier League. This is their chance to win it. I would... If I was Wenger, I wouldn't play a kids team against Hull on Tuesday, but if they go out, I wouldn't be disappointed.
The thing is, Arsenal have got to be careful with who they play. Because if they play full strength against Hull, the quarterfinals this weekend, they've got to turn around, get back from Hull, then prepare for Watford.
Yeah.
Who are no easy team.
Yeah. So this is what I mean. If they go out, they won't be disappointed. Because if they go out, then they've got a 2-week break or a week break or whatever it is.
They'll have a week break. But if they win, they're playing Sunday, then Wednesday.
And then I think it's the Champions League game that Wednesday. It might be.
That is the Wednesday. Yeah.
So. I don't know. There are that game. Should we do a prediction for that game?
Yeah.
Start with Matt Thowney then.
Where is it at?
It's at the KC.
The KC. I'm gonna go 3-1 Arsenal.
I'm gonna go 2-2 Hull to win on penalties.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Arsenal, and Steve Bruce bans Arsenal from the KC Stadium in the FA Cup because he must be so fed up of them. It's unreal.
Because it was the final in the 14, then it was the 3rd round match in the 15th season, and here we are again,
5th round, and then a replay. So it's like, oh hi Arsene, you again.
It's almost like the Chelsea PSG thing. Oh, you again? Hello.
Yeah.
Same hotel.
Yeah. There's some cracking Champions League and Europa League action this week. We'll start with Europe's premier competition. Also on Tuesday, it's Real Madrid versus Roma in the big one.
Real Madrid have a 2-0 aggregate lead after a nice 2-0 win at Stadio Olimpico.
And they come into it in good form as well.
And Bale is back from injury.
Yeah, but they stuffed Celta Vigo at the weekend.
7-1,
Celta Vigo
yeah.
are a good side. You know what I mean? They stuffed Barca at the start of the season.
Well, they went 7-1 and Ronaldo got 5?
Yeah.
4-5?
Scored a great free kick too.
4.
Just surely it's a home banker, that one.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think on my acca it will be like
Yeah.
Real Madrid win hands
Matt
down.
Thowney?
I'm going 2-0 Real Madrid actually.
I'm going to go 3-0 Real Madrid. Bale to get a goal.
3-0 sounds good.
Right.
Don't know about Bale getting a goal though.
On the other Tuesday game, it's probably one of the most balanced ties we've got, is Wolfsburg with KA Ghent, who after Wolfsburg had a 3-0 lead against Ghent made it 3-2 to make it a nervy final minute.
Have you noticed the two sort of lower sides in the Champions League that are left have one of the most exciting games of the tournament, I suppose. Wolfsburg being at home and got the
Lord Bentner.
goal advantage. Yes, they have Lord Bentner as well, so yay.
Although Wolfsburg's focus this season is not on the Champions League anymore. They're in a relegation battle in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, which is weird considering the side they've got.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'd say that's as much of a home banker as Real Madrid, though.
Where are they playing at? Sorry,
They are playing at Wolfsburg this
they're
season.
playing at Wolfsburg and they're
they're
winning
3-2
3-2.
up. They've got three
Away
away
goals.
So Ghent need to win by 2 clear goals.
Oh, good. No, that isn't going to happen. I'm going to say 1-0 Wolfsburg.
1-0 Wolfsburg.
I'm going to go 1-0. I think
1-0.
I think
No,
we're close.
2-1 Wolfsburg.
Then on the Wednesday, we have got Zenit St. Petersburg looking to turn around a 1-0 deficit against Benfica. This is a 5 o'clock kickoff because Russia are cold.
Because Russia.
Because Russia. But
No.
Benfica had a 1-0 at the Stade de Liège.
Two good sides as well.
Yep.
It's not like... I suppose being at 5 o'clock helps sort of neutrals because you've got 2 games back-to-back which you can watch there. 2 very good games.
Yeah.
So it's in Russia, although Benfica do have the goal advantage. So
Although Zenit haven't played a game since that.
Yeah, I was going to
that
say
always
they've played
seems
for a
to
while.
cost them in the Champions League. They get to the round of 16 or the knockout round.
It's because it's so freaking cold in Russia. They break,
No, I understand
They break
that.
for Christmas in November and don't stop. And I think they've only just started playing again because it is minus 20.
I understand that, but I bet Zenit St. Petersburg are sitting there thinking, I wish Russia had decided not to be part of UEFA and to be part of like the confederations, like the Australia and that, because they could have. To be fair, how big Russia is. Do you know what I mean? It leads on to Asia.
Half
doesn't
of
it?
it's in Asia.
Yeah, so I bet they wish they could have joined the Asian sort of side and been in the Asian Champions League where they play over the summer. That'd have been better for them. If Benfica get an away goal, I think the tie's over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go 1-0.
I really don't know what to make of it because Benfica are the Portuguese champions and they've had a good run of form at the moment. But Zenit at home is a really hard place to go. Well, Russia in itself is always a battle for these European sides because when I think Real Madrid went there a few years ago, they struggled. I think they only got a 1-1 draw.
It's an AstroTurf pitch as well.
Yeah.
Which I know it sounds daft to anyone that hasn't actually like played on the 2 different pitches.
It's
but there's
very
a
different.
huge difference.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 2-1 to Zenit. Benfica to go through on away goals.
I'm gonna go 1-0 Benfica. That's 1-0 in both legs. Sounds good. The big game of the Champions League
Of this week.
would be Chelsea versus Paris Saint-Germain. I know you guys are very, very interested in this one.
Paris Saint-Germain have a 2-1 lead after.
But they've lost their last
after-
2 games.
They have.
Paris Saint-Germain,
They've
which is
finally been
amazing.
beaten.
Finally been beaten in the league, and then obviously they lost. They lost the game before that, but I can't remember who it's against now.
Not important.
I'm pretty sure it was a French Cup game, but I could be wrong.
Was it Monaco? Coupe Nationale.
I'm not sure, but they've lost the last 2, which is rare for them this season. Are they going to take that bad form into the game, or are they going to hit back this week? Are they going to make a statement?
I really hope they take the bad form in with them.
What you would say is that Hiddink is experienced to ground out results as Chelsea manager.
Yeah.
He's done that a lot this season.
He's proved it. So
Yeah. Chelsea need a 1-0 or to win by 2 clear goals.
Yeah, I think the away goal will be very important.
Yes.
I do think that'll be very important. I can see Chelsea getting a 1-0 win, definitely. It's not out the realms of possibility at all, but
PSG's firepower.
I don't know. We'll start Matt Thowney.
I'm going to go 2-0 Chelsea.
3-1 after extra time.
2.
Chelsea.
Oh yeah, because obviously. Yeah.
Why would I support Paris Saint-Germain?
I don't know. You might. I've gone for Spurs sometime this season, so.
Yeah, but not when they're playing against your team.
I'm going to go Chelsea winning 1-0 throughout the game until the last 5 minutes where Paris Saint-Germain nick an equaliser.
You're not my friend anymore.
That's what I'm going for. That seems the Chelsea way, doesn't it? Should I? Onto the Europa League, and this is the competition I'm more excited for this week. There's some absolutely cracking ties.
First game on the list at 6 o'clock on Thursday is Borussia Dortmund versus Tottenham.
What a game this is going to be, I'm telling you.
Dortmund have been in some amazing form this season considering what they were doing last season, and Tottenham, second in the Germany versus second in England.
And Dortmund are in good form. Tottenham are in good form. Both of these sides are favourites to win the competition. Real big favourites, I'd say. It's the striker who I can't pronounce, especially when I'm
Aubameyang.
against Harry Kane. I'm more excited for this than Liverpool Man United later on in the night. I genuinely am. Liverpool Man United is going to be gritty, and there's not going to be much football playing. It's going to be like a hard tackles.
That's going to be a 1-0 Milner goal, isn't it?
Yeah, but Dortmund Tottenham, you could see it being 4-3, 4-4. Do you know what I mean? I'm super excited for this. Not gonna lie, I am.
How disappointed are you going to be when it's 0-0?
If it's 0-0, I'm gonna cry. I'm not gonna lie.
So, Thowney, predictions: Dortmund Tottenham.
0-0. Do you know why?
You want to see me cry?
Hugo Lloris is a sensational keeper, and I just have a feeling he's going to be able to keep out the likes of Aubameyang and Marcus Royce. Yeah.
I think it will be 2-1 Dortmund. As good as Lloris is, I don't know what defense. It all depends on Tottenham's defence. Their defence has been really. At times, their defence has been quite inconsistent. In like what
depends who's playing. That's the question.
It really does depend who's playing. Because they've chopped and changed it a couple of times. And
if Toby Alderweireld plays, they look solid. If he doesn't, they don't. If he doesn't play, this is my prediction. Alderweireld doesn't play. He goes with, say, Wimmer and Fazio or something like that as the two centre backs.
Fazio's not there, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Dortmund win 4-1.
Is that what you're going for?
Yeah.
4-1. Are we going to do the whole of the Europa League or just?
We'll pick out some fixtures.
Pick out fixtures.
Defending champions Sevilla travel to Basel, who are hosting the final. That's also a 6 o'clock game. Basel.
They've hosted didn't they host? No, it was at the Amsterdam Arena when Chelsea won it.
Yep.
But
Switzerland, Netherlands.
No, but Basel play good football. They have a lot of unknown names, but they play very good football. Sevilla, as you say, they're the holders.
I think Sevilla.
There's a lot of intriguing bits to it.
If Sevilla win it, not only are they, I think, the first team to win it 3 years on the bounce, but they will also become the most successful team in the tournament.
But they haven't got the best away record, Sevilla, this season.
I think out of the Europa League games, I think they've only won one.
In La Liga as well, they're good at home, but away from home, they're not very good. So that could come into it on Thursday.
Found it.
I'm gonna go for. I don't know.
Always good.
Go on, you do yours. Go on.
2-1 Basel.
2-2. I feel like I need to sneeze.
Yeah, I think 1-0.
1-0.
Yeah.
We have got the Gary Neville Valencia travelling to Spanish rivals Athletic Bilbao. Bilbao were finalists, I think, last year or a couple of seasons ago. And Bilbao beat Man United in this round of the Europa League a few years ago as well.
Who they facing? Sorry, Bilbao.
They're facing Valencia.
The Gary Neville Valencia,
Right.
who have been on some recent form, apart from their 3-1 loss to Atletico last night. But recent form.
That's Atletico, though.
Yeah.
Fernando Torres scored.
Torres has
Doesn't
been a
matter.
beast for Atletico this season. He's recovered.
Atletico have been really good this year. So,
They have.
Is it at Valencia?
It's at Bilbao.
It's at Bilbao.
Oh, it's at Bilbao.
Although, because it's two sides in the same country, it doesn't make as much of a difference as it would, say we're on about Sevilla playing Basel. That's a different culture shock for the Sevilla players.
True, but I
than
still
is for
think
the
it makes a
Valencia
huge
players.
difference.
They've gone from sunny
Still
Spain
think
to
it
snowy
It makes a
Switzerland.
difference, but not as much of a difference, I would say.
It'd be like the tough one is Lazio going to Sparta Prague.
That's got to be difficult. In Italy, it's not the warmest yet, but it's a lot warmer than it's going to be in Prague.
I'm going 2-0 Valencia.
I'm going to go 1-0.
3-1 Athletic Bilbao.
Ooh, got range.
I think what I would say is that Gary Neville can afford to go out at this stage because he's got them through. Well, he didn't get them through the Champions League group stage, but he can afford to go out because the league form's got to be more important. I would say the biggest game of the round would be Liverpool-Manchester United at Anfield.
We say this is the first time these two teams have ever met in European competition. With considering all their history, Liverpool being 5 times Champions
It's
League
because-
winners, Man United being 3 times Champions League
It's
winners.
because usually, apart from semi-finals and finals, UEFA draw it so that teams from the same country can't play each other. This is the first season they're not doing it, which is why you're seeing Bilbao, Valencia, and Liverpool, Man United. I think this is going to be really tough for Man United.
This is going to be one of those you need. Lads, we'll sit back. If we can get them on the break through Martial, then absolutely fantastic.
Jurgen Klopp knows that this Liverpool team play very well against the bigger sides. They're sort of a 1 step forward, 2 step back sort of side at the minute. If Man United come away with that, with 0-0 or an away goal, they're happy. I think.
Yeah, I'd say that sounds about right.
Now, I think United can't afford a 0-0 because I think Liverpool travelling to them next week, you've got to think neither of them will have a weekend fixture, so they can both go full strength.
I think Man United are in the cup, aren't they, this weekend?
Are they?
Yeah, FA Cup.
Man United have got a home game against West Ham, so Liverpool, unless they're playing in the Premier League.
No, they would play Chelsea, but we're in the cup.
So Liverpool can go full strength. Man United's got to think, do they want to go Europa League or do they want to go FA Cup?
I'd go Europa League.
I'll go Europa League because that's
just your Champions League place.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what Jurgen Klopp's doing too. So, Matt Thowney, predictions.
I'm going 3-1 Liverpool.
1-0 Liverpool. One of those really gritty.
I'm going 1-0 Man United.
Oh.
Villarreal, Bayer Leverkusen is probably the last one we want to end on. Leverkusen are an attacking treat at the moment. Well, they have been all season.
Javier Hernandez is like 4-time Player of the Month in the Bundesliga.
Yeah. And he gets a phone call ahead of big games from Sir Alex Ferguson as well, by the way. He's revealed this. He still gets a phone call to say, good luck, make sure you do this, or do this.
I love that even though he's not managing, he is still managing some of the good players he had.
Hernandez is officially a Fergie fledgling.
He is.
Villarreal
I still hate that little Pino because he would always score against Chelsea. Like, no matter what he would do, it's like he comes on for the last minute. Oh, Chelsea are 2-0 up. He scored. Oh, dear.
Comes on for the last minute. Chelsea are 2-0 up. Here comes Hernandez. Man United 3, Chelsea 2.
It would just genuinely, he would just frustrate the hell out of me.
Matt Thowney, prediction.
0-0.
You are a bundle of joking.
Leverkusen, all this attacking press. No.
No, because you do get those games sometimes where the big teams will.
The Europa League.
I'm going to go 2-1 Leverkusen against the Yellow Submarine.
Everyone knows my opinion on Europa League. So.
Oh, God. I'm going to go 3-0 Leverkusen.
I do love that Villarreal are called the Yellow Submarine by their own fans because they keep going up and down in La Liga.
I think it's to do with the yellow kit, to be fair.
No, well, yeah, because that helps. But that helps because they're not going to call them Yellow Submarine if they wear black, are they?
We'll move on to FA Cup and Premier League fixtures this weekend. What we'll do first is the Premier League fixtures because there are a couple. Because we're getting to that stage in the FA Cup where not everyone's in it anymore. So there's chance for the Premier League fixtures.
Right, we have got the early kick-off is Norwich City hosting Manchester City. Big game at both ends of the table as Norwich are looking to get out of the relegation zone and Man City are looking to make
Man City are looking to hold on to 4th place now.
But if they win and Arsenal
drop points.
No, because Arsenal are in the cup. If City win, for a time being, they go above Arsenal on the same games played because they'll both have a game.
Who would Arsenal have it? What's the postponed game?
No, if Arsenal would either play West Brom or Hull, depending on what the result is on Tuesday.
Right, so if they beat, got ya. Ooh, yeah. Matt Thowney, we'll start with you.
I'm going 2-1 Manchester City.
3-0 City. Manchester.
I'm going 2-1 Norwich. It seems like it's the sort of fixture where Norwich pull it out.
In one of the 2 3 o'clockers we've got on Saturday is Bournemouth v Swansea. Big game down the bottom of the table. Bournemouth we said were safe with 35 points, but Swansea on 33, who are 16th. If they win,
Swansea aren't safe.
Swansea aren't safe at the moment.
No,
not at all. So a win for Swansea after their win against Arsenal will surely put them safe.
Well, yeah, you would say if Swansea win, Norwich or Newcastle are down.
I'll tell you what,
One of them.
if Sunderland don't win this weekend,
They can't.
and they're not playing then.
They're not playing
They're meant to be playing Everton, but they're playing Chelsea.
Well, if they don't win their next game then, and Palace and Swansea win, then this is going to be
one
a very
of those three.
well, not
then,
that
isn't
it's
it?
going to be a very, very boring last day of the season at the relegation zone, unless it becomes quite interesting.
I don't
between those three.
think the relegation zone's where you'll be looking at the end of the season. It's going to be the title
And the top four.
The top 4 race looks really
and
exciting.
top 5 and 5th place as well.
Well, yeah, that whole sort of you got
Yeah.
United, Everton, West Ham, not Tottenham. I always feel like saying Tottenham when we're on about top 4 races. Chelsea, I was going to say, all in the mix. That looks exciting.
Because now City won the Capital One Cup, 6th place now gets a Europa League spot.
Yeah.
Which is what Everton will be looking at.
Yep.
So, predictions.
Bournemouth v Swansea.
I'm going.
Swansea manager Guedelin's back for this game as well.
Yeah, he's released up from hospital earlier today.
I'm going 1-0.
I'm going to go 2-2.
I'm going 2-0 Bournemouth. Home wins.
Right, in the other 3 o'clocker, we have got Mark Hughes' Stoke City, who picked up a late point against Chelsea, versus Southampton, who picked up an even later point against Sunderland.
So a point.
So, point.
Thowney?
Well, it's a game where literally, I think, if Saints win, then they go level on points with Liverpool, which is huge.
I would also
yes,
say
that is right. If Saints win, they go.
And then
Liverpool.
if Stoke win, then suddenly they're only a point behind Manchester United.
I would also say that Stoke and Southampton is probably the battle of the most 2 inconsistent sides of the season.
True,
Very much so.
but this is a huge game. I would say the biggest game of the weekend in terms of the Premier League, because this could decide this could decide which one is an actual contender for that Europa League place.
Just wait till we get to Mondays and then you'll see why I went.
Yeah. Right, so Thowney prediction?
I'm going 3-2 Stoke.
Exciting game then. You'll get goals there.
Yeah.
Retro.
Retro. I'm going to go 1-0 Stoke. Hard-earned point. 3 points, I mean.
2-0 Stoke.
Do we want to predict Arsenal West Brom?
Yeah, predict it because at this
happen.
precise moment,
Arsenal
are through. So
at this precise moment, Arsenal West Brom is scheduled to go on at 5:30. I believe it's actually the Sky game.
It should be, seeing it's the
It
half.
should be. If it gets cancelled, you may see Stoke Southampton.
yeah, that will
move
go
to
down.
5:30.
Yeah, that will normally.
Maybe it might be too late to be able to do it though. We're not sure.
No, it will, because on Monday.
There might be a late championship game that they can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I bet
on
on
Mon-
Championship.
I think it was early on in the season between West Ham and Liverpool. They drew, which meant there was going to be a replay, and the Saints Liverpool game got moved on the weekend to the 5:30, and that was on the Monday. So one day later, I don't think it's going to make a blind bit of difference. So I
Maybe.
think so.
Arsenal West Brom at the Emirates. West Brom got a huge win over Man United the weekend. They'll be looking to take that into it. Arsenal have to win to stand any chance. You said earlier they can't lose another game. If they even draw this game, the title race is over.
No, I wouldn't say that just yet, but then it's hanging by a thread if they draw. West Brom could also go above Saints if Saints lose this weekend.
If the only reason I say that is because
Monday's fixture is really key.
Monday's fixture is Leicester versus Newcastle.
Yeah.
If West Brom get a point at the Emirates and Leicester beat Newcastle, Leicester are 10 points clear with 8 games to go. Of Arsenal, not necessarily Spurs.
Yeah.
Predictions.
I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal.
I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. West Brom's going to be very difficult.
I'm going 4-0 Arsenal. Let's get these Baggies fans down with a thump. As much of a thump as the coin that hit Chris Brunt.
And speaking of thumpings, on the Sunday game is Aston Villa Tottenham.
Oh, God. That's bad timing.
It is
Matt Thowney, predictions.
Well, Aston Villa haven't been that good this season by the looks of things. 16 points this season.
They've gone through a bit of a bad form.
I don't know. There doesn't seem to be that much confidence in the side at the moment.
No, we've had a bad patch.
I don't.
We've had a rough spell.
Yeah, but the patch is as big as the United States. If Tottenham win, they're suddenly 2 points behind. Suddenly 2 points behind Leicester, and that could give Leicester a few nerves on the Monday. But they do have a day to think about it. So
that's worse.
Yeah, it can be.
Worse.
It can be worse though. So,
I think the Leicester fans, if Tottenham will beat us the weekend, I'd be very, very surprised if Villa get a result. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when Tottenham get that win and they're 2 points behind, just say, I think the Leicester players would rather play then. They'd rather have Villa Tottenham at 1 o'clock,
and then them at 4,
and them at 4, because they're going to have a night to sleep on it.
You want a reaction. You want a reaction.
The Leicester players are going to be lying in bed that night going, What if this happened? What if this happened? It's like when you're in school and you've got an exam the next day, a really important one, and the night before you're stressing.
Yeah, apart from Dave.
That's what the Leicester fans will be doing.
Yeah.
Okay, regular Dave will be loving life.
Yeah. But Villa Spurs, predictions.
I'm going to go 3-1 Spurs, I think.
You get a goal!
Yes!
5-0 Tottenham. That's
you genuinely think 5-0 Tottenham at Villa Park? I know they're playing bad, but they've never...
This is just revenge for his late PSG equaliser to knock us out of the Champions League.
Okay, fairs.
Yeah, that's mean, Matt. 5-0 Tottenham.
So saying PSG will get a late minute winner, but here we are, still sat here.
No, that's my prediction. 5-0 Tottenham. If Liverpool can get 6 and informed Tottenham can get at least 5.
All right, and the Monday night fixture, which could
cement the title.
I'm dying now.
Which could see Steve McLaren sacked, is Leicester versus Newcastle.
Will he still be in charge?
They've got to give him one more game.
That's a whole week away. We'll be recording next week's episode, hopefully, if by the time this fixture goes on. So it's a long way.
Well, what you got to remember is if Newcastle win that game, and by what I've gone for, Norwich lose as well, then we're looking at Newcastle being outside of the relegation zone with Sunderland dropping in with a game in hand, which will give the Newcastle fans a little bit of relief. But we are talking about the best team in Britain at the moment. So,
predictions, Matt Thowney.
I'm going... Oh, do you know what? I can see a thumping here. I'm going to go 4-1 Leicester.
3-0 Leicester. Absolutely rack 'em.
I think Leicester will be too nervous to get a thumping. If you think back to the Norwich game where they got a last-minute winner, I think it'll be another one. I'm going 2-1.
Who's going to score for Newcastle? That's the news. That's the news story.
Perez,
yeah.
Just so people are aware, these are the postponed games which will be rescheduled into the fixtures. We've got Man United, Crystal Palace, Sunderland, Everton, West Ham, Watford, possibly Arsenal, West Brom, depending on how Arsenal do tomorrow, and then a big one, Liverpool versus Chelsea. So they will be squeezed into the fixture list somewhere.
Be on a Wednesday somewhere.
Most likely a Wednesday.
There are the FA Cup fixtures, which is why these have been postponed. There are
Reading,
four of them.
There is Reading versus Crystal Palace, which is the Friday game, which is a 5 to 8 kickoff, which is on the Beeb.
I'm surprised they've gone for that as the Friday game, to be honest with you. I suppose they're all on TV at this point.
How many Championship sides are left in this?
Just Reading.
That's why.
Hull.
If Hull.
Or Hull.
But that's why then. Because they're the only one left that's got through.
All the games are on TV anyway.
They've had to time in due to Chelsea's Champions League fixture on Wednesday. They have to play either Saturday or Sunday. Then with Arsenal playing away against Barcelona,
Arsenal playing on Tuesday against Hull,
and then they've got their Barcelona fixture, and then Man United have got Liverpool.
No, this is this weekend.
Yeah, but this is this weekend. But they've had to tie it in because Man United playing on Thursday. Then they've also got the Europa League the following week. So
Arsenal don't play Barcelona this week.
Yeah, but they play them next week.
Oh right, got you. Yeah, that makes sense. I got really confused.
Because the kickoff time will actually change. If Arsenal go through, it's a 1 o'clock kickoff, but if Hull go through, it's the 1:30 kickoff.
I'm not sure that makes much of a difference.
It really, doesn't, but it's just when you got to wake up. Because it's a nice line on a Sunday.
Not for the Arsenal fans. Well, actually say that, if Arsenal win, it's a London derby, so it's not that far. Well, Londonish for Watford.
Down the road.
Down the road. Reading versus Crystal Palace then on the Friday night at the Medeski. Reading, of course, had that FA Cup run last season. I believe they got to a round. Was it this stage or was it the semis? It was the semis because they played Arsenal in the semis at Wembley.
Yep, they got to the semis.
Walcott sent them through to the final, didn't he?
With the
controversial
Alex
goal.
McCarthy mistake.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they'll be looking to do the same. Palace are coming off the back of the disappointment against Liverpool.
They've been, although
least.
every FA Cup game, Crystal Palace have gone in off a disappointment. They just can't turn their cup form into
a
league form.
I think Alan Pardew is aiming for the FA Cup. He wants to win this.
I think he will. Well, not win it, but I think that's what he's aiming
They've
for.
had a good draw. If you look at all the rest of the sides that are there that they could have got.
Yep.
They've had a very good draw.
So, Thowney predictions: Reading versus Crystal Palace.
2-0. Reading. I think.
Everything I said, he's just gone against it.
I think.
I'm sorry.
I can see this one going to a replay. 1-0.
I'm going 3-0 Palace.
On the Saturday at 5:30, it is Everton versus Chelsea, a repeat of the 2009 FA Cup final, in which Gus Hiddink was the manager of.
This always brings goals. This fixture just brings goals.
Yeah, it certainly does.
So. It's at Goodison as well, which will help at Everton. They'll be looking to bounce back from the West Ham game, but Romelu Lukaku is the big thing here.
Yeah. 19
Premier League goals. If he plays, Chelsea will have a problem handling him with the defence that they've got at the moment.
I think no doubt about it. Really do.
I mean, Terry, I'm not sure if Terry will be back.
Terry is still doubtful for Wednesday.
So I'm not sure if he'll be back for this game. Zuma's out, so you'll have Cahill and Ivanovic, who's... Both of them have their shaky moments. So
they're doing all right at the moment with Aspilicueta on the right back and Babel on the left back. I still want to see Matt Miazga play, considering you've signed him from the MLS. I hope he plays against Everton. I don't think we should chuck him in straight away against PSG.
I'd bring him off the bench against Everton. I wouldn't chuck him in the FA Cup 16.
Yeah, I wouldn't start him, but I would like him to get some minutes. Because if for 6'2" for a 21-year-old against Lukaku, that's a pretty good battle.
Yeah. Matt Thowney.
3-0.
Shit.
Goals.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for 1-0 Chelsea. Nervy.
3-1 Everton.
And you wondered why I went 5-0 against you.
What was it 3-1 earlier in the season at Goodison?
Yes,
Stephen
but,
Naismith?
but look at the teams back then compared to now.
No, definitely, yeah. But I'm going off my prediction of Chelsea having that heartbreak against PSG. And not being able to recover against Everton.
If we have a heartbreak against PSG, we'll go all out.
Yeah, then
we would kill Everton.
You hope, but
yeah.
I don't know.
If you look at our previous Champions League heartbreak, say when we went out to Barcelona in that really dodgy goal in 2009.
I know, but that was Lampard and Drogba. Are there strong enough characters in the Chelsea squad to do that now?
No, I think we've got a good enough manager to get around it.
Maybe. Arsenal or Hull versus Watford then. This is going to be difficult for us to predict.
We'll do
two predictions. Yeah, if it's Arsenal-Watford.
If it's Arsenal-Watford.
And it would be at the Emirates, I'm guessing?
It'll be at the Emirates, yes.
Okay, well, if it was at the Emirates, then I'm going to go 3-0 Arsenal.
And then if it's Hull-Watford?
Watford go through 1-0.
Watford go through. For me, if it's Arsenal v Watford, I can see it being a draw, 1-1. If Hull...
Go to another replay. Oh, the legs.
Mate, Arsenal won't play their full-size squad because they've got to fly off to Barcelona.
Yeah.
Arsene Wenger just like, I just want a Tuesday off.
And if it's Hull Watford to win 2-0.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-0 Arsenal if it's Arsenal-Watford and 1-0 Watford if it's Watford-Hull. I actually agree with Matt Thowney on this one. Rarity.
And finally, it is Manchester United versus West Ham.
Man United would have played on Thursday.
That's a really good game, to be fair.
Man United have recovered from coming back from Liverpool.
But they asked for the game to be altered, didn't they, with the time? Because
I can't remember if it's the one in Old Trafford or Anfield. They've asked for one of them to be changed kick-off time.
8:05 is the new kick-off time.
For Anfield on Thursday, yeah.
I thought it was Old Trafford, that one.
No. Man United West Ham's a 4 o'clock kick-off.
Okay.
It's on BT, I believe.
Not a clue. But
It's on one of them.
Yeah. I know Everton Chelsea's the BBC game because I'll be watching it.
Yeah, and I'll be at work.
Yep.
But yeah, Man United West Ham. I think the fact that it's Old Trafford swings it in United's favour. If it was at Upton Park, then you
got to go West Ham.
I'd go West Ham.
I don't think it swings anything in
well,
anyone's
yeah,
favour the way
saying
things
that,
go in
West
this
Ham
season.
have had a good away record this season, so
like I think this game, even though it's got nothing to do with the league, it could genuinely affect who will eventually finish fifth.
definitely. Yeah.
Because if Man United win, then I think West Ham will finish fifth, and vice versa. Right, I do think that. So,
go on then, we'll give you a prediction.
1-0 West Ham.
2-1 West Ham.
2-0 United.
Yeah. So you both think West Ham will finish in the in fifth place, yeah? According to what I just said.
I think they'll finish in the top 6.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. No, I agree with that. I do agree with that.
Playing it safe.
They'll finish up there. Top half table.
I guarantee you they are in that Premier League table.
That's all the fixtures now, isn't it?
That's all the fixtures predictions done. We just want to end on the MLS because we were meant to bring it up earlier. It kicked off again last night, and I'm just going to hand you over to our MLS expert, Matt Tye.
Right, I will do full reviews of all the games in the MLS review, which I will get round to doing when I'm not doing a dissertation. On the blog. But we've had a couple of corking, cause for the first time in the MLS history, they all kicked off on the same day, and is also their record highest opening goal tally for fixture, beating the previous record they set about 5 years ago. Some of the standout games is Patrick Vieira's New York City in his first game in charge of proper management. He won 4-3 against Chicago Fire. Goals. Orlando City left it very late against Real Salt Lake. It was 2-0 Real Salt Lake going into the 92nd minute, and it finished 2-2.
No, that's what you call a comeback.
That's what you call a comeback.
Is Rafa Benitez managing Orlando City now?
I've not a clue. LA Galaxy, who are the favourites, one of the favourites, overturned their 1-0 deficit against DC United to win 4-1. One of the other favourites, Seattle Sounders, lost to Sporting Kansas City. In a repeat of last year's final, Portland Timbers won again 2-1 against Columbus Crew, so Columbus Crew still can't beat Portland Timbers. And there was goals in Houston, as Houston 3, New England Revolution 3.
Well, I just want to mention, one of the fixtures that I sort of tuned in for last season in the MLS was the New York derbies. It was the first ever one, and I wanted to see how America would take to derbies. And before the game, they were going around asking fans, how do you feel taking on your arch rival? Is there hatred then? They went, arch rival? Who's that?
The thing is, the New York Red Bulls have won every New York derby because out of the 3 they had last season. New York Red Bull fans, they pretty much made placards saying, you bought your way into this rivalry. We don't see you as a rival. They see LA as a rival because they've been fighting for that title. New York would consider Red Bulls as their derby.
So New York City are the noisy neighbours.
New York City are the noisy neighbours, considering they are owned by the noisy neighbours of Manchester.
Definitely. I think that's where we're going to wrap it up. As you say, the blog for the MLS recap will be on soon enough.
It'll be on before this weekend's fixtures.
That's a Matt Tye promise.
I've got 5 days. Well, in fairness, the first kickoff is midnight on Saturday the 12th, so I've got a bit of time.
Yeah, so that'll be up there. Yeah, do check out the blog and whatnot. We're always looking for writers, so if you want to send us a email to rkfootballtalk@gmail.com with a sort of example piece, and
Yeah.
we'll see what we can get you on. We haven't got a real standard bear, to be fair. So
If you can write and spell.
if it's English, you're okay.
Sorry, France.
Yeah. So I think that is all we've got time for. We're over by about 15 minutes.
But we're compensating for last week.
We are compensating for 4 or 5 days ago it was in the end. Last Wednesday we recorded it and uploaded it, and for some reason the last 20 minutes were completely cut out. I'm confused. I'm annoyed. I don't know why. Let's hope this hasn't happened now, because if it has, you can't hear any of this. So, I'm going to stop talking. Make sure you tune in next week, where we'll
Thank
be
you very much.
looking in at all that Europa League action and the Champions League and the Premier League and the FA Cup and the MLS and everything, because there's so much to go through. I'll have the two Matts with me again. Hopefully we'll have Graham or Stuart or David or Mark. Hopefully we'll have someone on with us. Join us next week.
I think we're it.
I think that's it.